Kaitlin, well-deserved, certainly, for the performance he had on Sunday. First player this year to earn those honors for a losing team. I think that's been lost this week in understanding how big the jump that Justin Fields has seemed to make over the last month. And now all of a sudden you have sort of that energy that it comes along with a performance like that creates belief amongst your teammates, amongst your coaches, amongst the defense. And now Justin has to stack together performances so this becomes consistent, so that the success isn't just a one-and-done thing. And so that's what this week is about. Playing a Detroit Lions defense that has one of the worst passing defenses in the NFL. So now maybe he can supplement his legs with a little bit of throwing ability as well.
I was going to say, I mean, there's been so much talk about what he can do, his run ability. We know he's had that run ability. And I think maybe not that it was lost in his performance against the Miami Dolphins, but he only passed for 123 yards. Yes, 3 touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns. But when you think about where his passing game needs to go, where do you think it starts?
Yeah, the entire offense has to be better, right? They are last in the NFL by a mile in passing yardage per game, and they have to just steadily climb and make that a part of who they are. Obviously, they've forged an identity as a run-first team and as a team that can use running backs and their quarterback to do that damage. Well, now you have to be better and more consistent throwing the ball, particularly late in games, right? I think we heard from several players this week that they left Soldier Field on Sunday a little bit unsettled because they had 2 opportunities in the fourth quarter with the ball with a chance to go tie the game or take the lead, and they failed. And so the talk here this week has been that's the next step, right? We've got to figure out how to win some of these games when our quarterback plays well. And so I think for Justin, that means completing big passes in big moments and getting help from people around him, the offensive line and the receivers, to catch balls when he throws them right to them.
There's been a lot of questions this week directed at Justin and the coaching staff about, okay, is it the game plan being tailored to now Justin Fields' strengths since the mini-bye, or is it Fields' own personal development since that mini-bye? Where do you think that balance lies?
I think it's both. I really do think it's both. And I think the collaboration between Justin Fields and Luke Getsy has been strong since the spring, right? And to see that continue to grow and the trust they have in one another to get things figured out and to come in each week and just take out the box of puzzle pieces and figure out how to put it together has been very encouraging. And so you want to see that continue to grow. There's 2 more months for them to continue taking this offense along the path that it's going down. Really encouraging results, particularly since the mini bye week, which they've talked about a lot inside this building, gave them an opportunity to zoom out, figure out how to highlight their strengths more and reduce some of the things that were exposing their weaknesses. And now we've seen the results, right? 3 straight weeks, more than 28 points scored. Again, that's encouraging.
And I wanted to touch on quickly with Chase Claypool, 6 targets right away in his first game, 2 catches, 13 yards. Velus Jones Jr. out, inactive for that game. Where do you think that wide receiver room stands with the addition of Claypool?
Right, and we're still trying to figure out when or if Byron Pringle is going to come back into the mix. He may have a chance this week, and if he doesn't, they're going to have to shut him down for the year. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But I think Chase Claypool gives them another weapon. And now when you have an array of passing targets, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, Cole Kmet, now you can create strain on opposing defenses in a lot of different ways. They love what Chase Claypool gives them as a deep threat. Even if he's not catching passes, if he can draw pass interference penalties or at least suck the defense back to allow things to open up in the middle of the field and shallower, it's a major advantage. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how his volume increases and how quickly he can get comfortable to then become a major producer in this offense, because if he can, now all those things we talked about, the passing attack elevating, will be a little bit easier.
And finally, we know there's been a lot of hype around Justin Fields and his progression, especially last week against Miami. We go into week 10. This is still a 3-6 team taking on a 2-6 team in an NFC North battle. Where do you think this matchup, who has the advantage in this matchup?
Yeah, get excited. Bears-Lions, Soldier Field on Sunday, one of the most high-profile games of the season. Look, I think that the Bears, being at home and having the momentum they have, need to make sure they keep their foot on the gas. Even though they lost last week, they showed offensively that they can move the football, and they now need to do it against a defense that will give them opportunities to do so. And so now, let's put together a strong offensive performance and finish it with a victory, right? That would go a long way towards elevating the energy here even more. This is the type of opportunity you've got to seize on. Hopefully the Bears can do so Sunday.
Yeah, you have to think they have an advantage. Thank you, Dan.